to talk about the role of, because it does reframe just that notion alone, reframe how this nation came about, because it wasn't just conquering a people, it was conquering nations.
Correct. And many of those nations were not actually conquered. By entering into treaty relationships, the United States did what it did with its European allies as well, as it often concluded wars or ceded territories or recognized jurisdictions or set up mechanisms of appropriate restitution of various kinds. So treaties are the most important form of American lawmaking with Native nations, particularly over the first century of American post 1787 constitutional history, and are at the centerpiece of the doctrine of American Indian retained inherent sovereignty. It's pretty complicated, and the book has lots of chapters about this. I am involved in lots of projects around American Indian sovereignty. It's a particularly complex and at times difficult doctrine to make intelligible. But once you do, you see into this history, you see into this nation, you see into this continent in a way that I don't think most people are really ever, potentially even non-native people that often is. Many non-educated people in these areas are often not really prepared for, because you see things like the federal government upholding the rights of tribes over states. You see the federal government instituting more recently efforts to enhance the self-governing capacities of tribes to build educational systems and land management practices and other kind of essential attributes of governance. And so we've been miseducated in this country so fundamentally about the place of Native peoples that we almost have a intellectual residue that kind of inhibits our ability to see Native nations as self-governing, autonomous sovereigns.